So let's get started on our graduated diagonal forward. Today we're going to use our 6-panel method. If you see, I've already have the mannequin sectioned off into our 6 panels. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's get started. As the diagram shows, we're going to begin in panel 3, move to panel 4, then 2, 5, 1, and then finally panel 6. In panel 3, we're going to part off a diagonal forward section from our center part to the bottom corner of panel 3. This haircut, we're going to use a 3-finger graduation. That means that the hand is actually placed on the nape, and you will be creating graduation 3 fingers away from the neck. Make sure that you keep the head upright while working on this haircut. Square your body to panel 3. This will help keep your fingers parallel to your chest and the bevel of the head. Again, for the purpose of this video, we're standing off to the side, but normally we would be standing behind or square to our panel that we're working in. So you want to continue up the head, taking your diagonal forward partings, using your 3-finger graduation, checking your guide each time, and cutting. Make sure to check for your guide each time. When you're working, make sure that your fingers are facing, or the palm of your hand is facing towards your body or the floor. Working into panel 4, you're going to begin by taking a diagonal forward parting. Use a small amount of the center section of panel 3 as a guide. Make sure your palms are facing the floor. Check your body position and that you're square to panel 4. And that you're using your 3-finger graduation. Check your guide and cut. Use your comb to check for balance of panels 3 and 4. There should be a slight increase in length from the center towards the outside of each panel. Continue up panel 4 using your diagonal forward partings and a diagonal finger position. Make sure you stand square to your parting as you're working up the head. We're going to take a section across panels 3 and 4, check for balance. You should be able to see a slight curve and a downward motion from the center. Check for slight graduation. There you see the slight or low graduation. So panel 2, we begin by taking a wider parting so that we do not cut a hole in the perimeter. Continue to use a diagonal forward parting from panel 3 and continue using a diagonal finger angle and a 3-finger width graduation. Don't try to hold too much hair in your hand in this area or any area on the head. You don't want to converge the hair. If you have to break it up into sections within your panel, then do that to make your life easier when cutting the hair. Make sure you continue to comb the hair in natural fall using your 3-finger graduation. Stand square to the panel you're working in and continue working up panel 2. If it seems to you that I'm holding my fingers more horizontal instead of diagonal, it is just the view of the camera. Again, make sure that your fingers are diagonal when working with your diagonal forwards, whether you're working your diagonal forward one length or diagonal forward graduation. Once you've completed panel 2, you'll work into panel 5. You're going to repeat the same steps that you used in panel 2. Remember the key principles applied. You're going to use diagonal forward partings, you're going to use some of your guide from panel 4. You want to use a diagonal finger position and a 3-finger graduation. Remember to break this hair up if you need to. There's no reason to hold too much hair in your hand at one time. Make sure while you're working not to turn your fingers up or roll them up. Your palm should be facing your lower body or the floor. Make sure that you see your guide. Continue working up panel 5. Once you've completed panel 5, you'll move into panel 1. In this area, you want to take a diagonal forward parting and use some of the hair from panel 2 to create your diagonal forward guide. You'll notice the section here is a little bit wider. In this area, I'm sectioning out the very front to keep the length as we move forward. Make sure that hair is coming down in natural fall. And that we're using that guide from panel 2 to continue in panel 1. In this area, it's going to be slightly different. Now we're creating no elevation. So you'll be holding that hair straight down in natural fall. Continue working up panel 1 using your guide. Make sure your fingers are diagonal forward. Remember, there's no elevation. We're keeping this in natural fall. Move that hair out of the way that you're not going to be working with. When you're combing, make sure that hair falls down like it would naturally. Use the wide teeth of your comb and cut the hair. You can see the diagonal forward movement. So now we're going to show you what to do with this front hairline that we kept out. I want you to remember the average person does not have as much hairline as a mannequin does in the front. So this was the reason we kept it out. So now you're going to add that hair into your panel 1. You're going to create a diagonal forward parting. Use a diagonal forward finger position. And continue your guide from panel 1. Make sure that you're not lifting the hair or over directing it back or forward. You want it to fall in natural fall. Again, this was to keep that maximum length increase in the front hairline. If we were working with a client who has a fringe, that would be panels 7 and 8. Continue working up that area that was left out from your front hairline. Now you see your diagonal forward movement. So now that panel 1 is completed, we're going to work around to panel 6. We're going to create a nice clean diagonal forward parting using some of the hair from panel 5 as our guide for panel 6. Again, we want to create that natural fall. Don't try to take too much hair in your hands at one time. Divide it up. Create your guide. Stand square to your parting and use your diagonal finger angle. As you work up panel 6, you want to repeat the steps from panel 1. Make sure to continue diagonal forward partings and diagonal finger angle. Stand square to the panel that you're working in. So remember to take out that 1-inch parting in the front hairline so that we can use that to preserve length. Once you're complete, go in and check from the front and the back for balance and evenness. As you can see from the side view, we have a great diagonal forward movement, and then you see that slight or that low graduation in the back. This is your completed look.